Hello, everybody there. So, today we continue with our series of practical information security control, where we talk and discuss and see the live implementation of action-oriented security controls that you can immediately apply to secure your cyber space. So we talked about the three controls actually, and I promised that after those three controls, we are going to start practical implementation of them. Of course, since here onwards, we'll be talking about other controls, then how to implement them directly. So today we are going to talk about Elastic Stack as one of open source solution that we can use to starting implementing the three control that we have covered so far, which are inventor of hardware, inventor of software, and audit log. So today I will introduce this platform. What is it and how is it useful to us as security expert or cyber security expert? So actually this Elastic Stack or ELK, which stands for Elastic Log Stash and Kibana, is an open source solution, an open source platform that is useful for collection and analysis of enterprise data. Now, here the enterprise data can be versatile, but our focus here is concerned about cyber security. So, for us, or for enterprise data that are specifically designed to be handled in this stack, of varieties. And this stack is useful for different purposes, as we can see. One of it is observability, which is all about logs management, logs analysis, logs correction, but also about the metrics of different devices, different assets like RAM usage of your devices, CPU usage of your devices, and all other metrics of interest. This platform can handle it very smoothly. But also you can use this platform for application performance metrics. So to handle the load and to see how much are your application performance, the peak and the low sides, all those stuffs can be handled using this platform. But also the issues of availability to know the upping and downing of your system and your devices. For instance, you have a VPN connection and you want to track it. Also, this stack is useful. You can use that for it. And of course, another component that is within this stack that is useful for us is about security. Now, security by the sense of, we can say like security information and the event management side of it, or that part of incident response and management, because this module of security within Elastic Stacks allow a cyber security expert or allow anyone that uses it to prevent, to correct, or to detect and to respond to threats. So this is a kind of automated way where you can dynamically analyze your logs, you can dynamically analyze data collected from your end devices and threat intelligence that you have integrated with your solution to have real-time collection, detection, and response of threats as they happen. You will remember when you talked about audit logs, we say that if you are correcting the logs, but you are not analyzing them, but you are not making sense of them, is as good as nothing. So this stack has specialized component just for that. But also you can do analytics. It has a module just for analytics where you can explore, visualize, and analyze your data. But also this stack also has specific component for enterprise search. This one is not the scope of this cybersecurity thing, so I'm not going to talk about it at all in this series. So this is a platform. It means it is not a single component. It is comprised by mainly three components. So we are going to see what comprises this Elastic Stack. These components are all managed or driven by the main engine, which is called Elasticsearch, which is the main engine, the backend database and the workflows and the logic that actually makes the foundation of everything. And everything is now is built on top of this main engine. This engine is called Elastic Stack, but also this engine Elastic Stack is just a backend where the logic stuffs, the workflows, and all the complicated things are handled. But for it to having a graphical user interface that is user friendly, that provide good user experience, they have another component called Kibana. So Kibana actually is the UI that we are going to use to interact with this stack and all its components, as we are going to see as we evolve in the series, and the use of Elastic Stack, of course. And we know that we are talking about cybersecurity. So if we talk about logs, we talk about metrics, we talk about whatever that we talk that this stack is useful for. At some point, we need to collect this data. As we said, this is for collection and analysis of data. So how are we going to collect this data from versatile devices or versatile applications? Because we know we have to collect logs or other data that are useful to us from hardware devices, from application software that are like Apache or like Microsoft server, database server, and all the kind of varieties of software that you may use, even the cloud services and whatever. So how are we going now to collect data from those versatile assets? So there is where comes this idea of bits or agents. So bits and agents are actually more of the same thing, but they are of different level. Bits are the legacy solution. They are the component that one was supposed to install in each asset, in each hardware that the given data were supposed to be collected. For instance, if I want to collect log data from my server, then I was supposed to install a bit respectively for collection of that particular log data from the server. And on the same server, if I was supposed maybe to collect Apache data, because the log data are the system data, for instance, from the server, but the server also has an Apache application. So if I was supposed to correct Apache access logs or Apache error logs, then I was supposed to install another different bit on the same devices. Now, agents come with a better solution. This is a current solution where you just store one agent on the given machine. Then through this platform, you can push and you can control what logs you want to correct from it. As soon as you have just installed one agent once and for all, then you can decide it from that agent at your front end management using Kibana. You can say now on device X, now I want Apache logs. Then agent is going to handle that for you. And if now you want to collect MySQL logs or database logs or performance log or whatever, you can just press a button, then the agents handle the rest of the process for you. Now, there is this idea of Frit now in these current versions or on this latest version. Now, Frit is the component within the Elastic platform which provide the management of these agents. Because remember, you will be collecting data from versatile devices, and some of them may be even in different geographical location. But what you need to do is just to install the agent where you want data to be corrected. So agent and Frit, they are the one that will be communicating, and you will be using Frit now to manage those agents in your particular Elastic platform installation. We are going to see all these stuffs. I'm just giving the overview. And there is this another component called the Logstash, which is also another way of collecting data from your devices. So they are more all like the same with bits and agents, but Logstash is more advanced by the sense that you can even pre-process data or you can add other data before you send them to your backend engine, which is Elasticsearch. So we should not take more time to talk about the overview of them. I just want to give you a brief introduction of it before we are going to see it in action. So as we said from the beginning, the aim of this series is to give you action oriented information that is relevant, that is practical, that you can immediately use to secure your cyber space in holistic view. And please, if you have not seen previous videos, you better see them first, because this now is the fourth video. We have the introduction and all other videos, so you better view them first to follow this series from the beginning so that you have a big picture of what we are really covering here. And before I proceed, I really remind you guys to subscribe in this channel and to like this video so that many people can see this useful information. So the focus of this presentation, this live demonstration and implementation of this CIS critical cybersecurity control that we are going to cover in this series, we are going to focus on deliverable measures, deliverable information that you can immediately use. So we are going to use the so-called top-down approach. What it simply means, assume that you want to learn to drive a car. So assume that when you just want to learn to drive a car, But the one who is teaching you to drive a car wants you to first learn mechanics, to learn how to change the oil, to learn how to see if there is a problem with the brakes and changing them. All those other stuffs, they are just boring to you if your focus is just to learn to drive a car. The real approach is for you to learn to drive a car, then those other mechanic stuff they will follow. So this is the approach that we are going to use throughout this series. Whenever we talk about a tool or whenever we talk about a component, we give you a first and a fast and reliable way that you can immediately start to use that given solution. But as we proceed on, then we can go even further, like maybe to make a customization of the installation and all those other stuff. So the demonstration or the live implementation for this today's session, we are going to use a cloud-based solution for this Elastic Stack so that for you to first see the value of this solution. Instead of starting to talk about how can you install it in Linux or in Windows, how to configure the components, we are going to talk about those stuffs later in the future. But for now, I just want you to see it in action first so that you get the value of it. So when we come to the nitty gritty of installation and customization, you won't see the trouble of it because you really know the value behind this solution. So guys, let's go do it. So for the purpose of this demonstration now, we are going to see how are we going to create, and of course it's going to be a free account. That's the good side of it. The Elastic guys themselves, they have provided us with a free test version that you can use it on the cloud, and you are provided like 14 days to use it for test. As I said, soon or later in this series, I'm going to tell you everything if you want to start to install it in your own server and all of the other stuff. But today, I want you to start seeing the value of it. So I'm not going to talk about those low level information about the installation and other stuff. So you are going to your browser, and then you're going to Google, then you search for Elastic. Just that, Elastic search or Elastic. Then you just click the link that is the main site of this Elastic, elastic.co. You click it, then it takes you to the Elastic site. And of course, one of the things that I like the most about this solution, these guys have robust and very sufficient documentation about this solution. So almost anything that you want to use with this solution, you can find the documentation of it and see it. But I am here to help you. So I can I can give you the straightforward way so that you save times to go through the documentation. So after visiting their sites, you go straight to start free trial and you wait for it to process. Then here you are. You can immediately starting to create the account and immediately starting to use this solution. So for me, I'm going to sign by using Google. If you have a Gmail account or Hotmail account, you can immediately start to log in without other complication. But as you can see, there's some solution you can use in Amazon Cloud, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure Cloud on trial, but also on paid version, apart from being installed in your own server, which we also are going to talk about that sometimes later. So for me, I'm just going to sign in. I'm sorry. I'm going to sign in by using my Google account. So you can also use your Google account to sign in. Me, I will use one of my Google account, the Gmail account to be specific. Then I will put the email password. Yeah, I'm sorry, I mistaken the password. So I will repeat it. Yeah. So the processing continues, and I'm just waiting for it to take me to the next step now. Yeah, here we are. So here they just want me to specify my full name, the company name. So you can just put whatever is relevant according to what you are going to do with this 14 days trial version. So let me say this is, of course, my name. They are just taking my name directly from my email. So I think that one I cannot change. So here I just put the company name, whatever the name that makes sense, because remember, this is just for the purpose of learning. Maybe practical cybersec. Then you can decide which of the following are primary interested in you, whatever that suits you. The focus here is to demonstrate actual, I'm sorry, the elastic stack itself. So for me, I'm much interested with security. because we are, of course, the real thing we are going to talk about security and observability. The search is not our concern. So whatever you choose about security or observability is okay. And also you can say what you would you like to do with it now, like maybe evaluate it for the project. You can just choose whatever fits you. But for me, I'm just maybe evaluating it. Yeah, it also needs me to say what is my level of experience with the elastic stack. You can specify yours. So for this case, I can say maybe new, just for the purpose of filling this form and proceed. Then I let it do its processing and waiting for the next step. So here it is, as you can see, they are creating for me this instance in Google Cloud Platform. So I can just say create deployment. Of course, I was supposed to specify the name of my deployment here, but I didn't do it. But as you can see, it's just proceed. So no problem with that. So I can wait for it to do its processing. Yeah. The only thing I can do now is just waiting for the next step. I'm sorry, guys, because I feel like some coughing. Yeah, so here it is. And of course, yeah, now they have already created the instance for me and they have already logged me in. So here, to make things in light perspective, I can just go here and click home. This is the view that I wanted for everyone to be here. So if you see this view, you are already having the Elasticsearch instance learning for you, and you can start using it. It is on the cloud, but as you can see, as we proceed with this series, you can use it to collect logs even from your local area networks, because the clouds has the public IP. So you are going to see it. How are we going to integrate the agents and all other stuffs? So because I just want to demonstrate the overview for this video case, I will want to use the sample data so that you see at least what is there. So for you guys which you have missed it, when I'm at home, I'm just going to click this try sample data. The idea here is when I show you the overview of it, at least you see it with data, because seeing in the overview without data, you miss something. So this is just a sample data. But as we are going to see soon and later, we are going to use our own data collected from our own machines. So click start exploring. So that is so it's like I'm creating another demo instance just for the purpose of demonstration. That demo instance with data. Yeah, there it is. So we talk about the main component of this elastic stack. As you saw, we have analytics. I'm just minimizing them so that you see them clearly. Yeah, we have Elasticsearch, the part that I told you I'm not going to cover because it's not within the scope of this series or this channel, of course. But we have observability, the part that we talk about logs, metrics, and whatever. We are going to see more about this soon or later. And also we have analytics, where we visualize, we analyze our data and do queries. When you have corrected your logs, let's say from different machines, from different server, and you are trying to analyze about a certain situation that you have just observed. So you can say, maybe give me some logs of this nature from this machine, where maybe the level message is this. All those stuffs are done in this analytics. And of course, security is where you do your SIMs and and incident response management. So in analytics, if we click analytics, this is what we are going to see. So soon we are going to see how are we going to interact with this component of analytics. But here I'm just giving you the overview. This is the analytics part. And of course, now Elasticsearch, we are not going to cover it. Then when we come to observability, then this is how it looks like, the observability part. As you can see, you can manage log, you can see your infrastructure, you can see the inventory of your infrastructure, like maybe the device. So these are the actually from the preloaded data. And I can click individual assets and see more data about it. Yeah, here you can see the application performance metrics. Yeah, and there you can see the uptime monitoring. So this component here is all about the observability, and we are going to see it further as we proceed with this series, as we uncovering individuals security controls that need a given features. And of course, this part of security also, as I said before, this is where we do the detection, the collection, the alerting. So you have corrected your logs from different devices. As you can see here, we have alerts. So you can say now, I have these logs from all these devices. And I've set some rules. And of course, we are going to see as we are covering that part, there are already predefined rules that we can use to identify. I'm sorry for coughing today, to identify common issues. And of course, so when those rules are triggered, you have alerts like there is something in your infrastructure. So this is where we are going to handle the alert stuff and doing our investigation and even the intelligence side, the threat intelligence data. So you can integrate this with threat intelligence source so that when you do automatic analysis of your data, you can try to detect some malicious activities or some signature file that signifies like this file is a kind of malicious. Yeah. So in a nutshell, this is the scope of this introductory part. We have seen what is Elasticstack. We have created the account. So from next episode onwards, we are going to use it to uncovering or to implement the individual controls. And for now, we are going to focus on the first three controls: the inventor of hardware, the inventor of software, and audit logs. As I said in my presentation of those video, that just with these three controls, you can start to have a strong cybersecurity program in your given organization. Because if you know the scope of your hardware, you know the scope of your software, and you have managed to collect all relevant logs, even if you may not be able to prevent all other attacks, but you can be able to detect them time and react on them time. So please, please, please subscribe and like these videos. And the best thing you can do is to share these videos with others, because here we are going to uncover the real, the practical oriented, the relevant security control that you can use to immediately secure your cyber space. And of course, you can always chat with us through our WhatsApp number, as you can see it down the screen at your right side. Yeah, that is our WhatsApp number. You can chat with us about anything concerning cybersecurity, and we'll be there for help, because the objective here is not just to talk about cybersecurity, but to help you making a cybersecurity a reality in your organization or in your career. Thank you and have a nice day.